This happened several years ago in Israel. Sarah, 40 years old, was married to a very wealthy man. Since she didn't need to make a living, she dedicated herself to volunteering, mostly in a hospital. Despite her high social standing, Sarah never felt superior to others, and she was easygoing. From time to time, she donated expensive medical equipment to the staff on the condition that the gift remained anonymous. Everyone loved her, the medical staff, the patients, and their relatives. But one day, everything changed when Sarah's husband went bankrupt. Within a few days, the family fell from the top of the ladder into great poverty and lost absolutely everything. The house, the cars, the funds, and all their belongings. They moved into a rental apartment. Despite all this, Sarah showed no regret or bitterness. Day after day, she continued to volunteer at the hospital as if nothing had changed, always looking calm and serene. One evening, Sarah had just left the hospital when she walked right back in tears. Upon seeing her distress, a nurse called Leah asked her, "What happened?" But Sarah was unable to speak. Leah wondered what could have caused such a state in Sarah, who was always so cheerful, even after her life fell into poverty. Eventually, after a few silent minutes, Sarah asked feebly, "I'm embarrassed to ask, but could you lend me some money to take the bus?" Of course, Leah agreed, but Sarah burst into tears, totally devastated. Leah hugged her and comforted her as well as she could without asking any more questions. Several years went by, and one day we heard that Sarah's husband restored his fortune. Sarah made new anonymous donations and also helped patients and poor families. A young boy named Shmuel soon arrived at the hospital in a critical condition. It became quickly obvious that he needed a medical device the doctors didn't have. And since he couldn't be moved, it was absolutely necessary to bring the device to the hospital. Now it was costly, and the boy's parents could not afford it. Upon hearing all this, Sarah decided to go comfort the mother. But when she saw her, she turned briskly around and left, looking very frightened. She went to Leah, the nurse, and requested, "Don't ask why, but this woman must not see me. I will donate the device Shmuel needs on condition that it remains anonymous." As usual, not a word to the parents, especially the mother. "As long as Shmuel is here, I will volunteer in a different part of the hospital." Leah had no idea what was going on, but she trusted Sarah and did as she asked. 1 month went by. One afternoon, Leah found Sarah and announced joyfully, "Shmuel is healed. He's going home tonight, thanks to your generosity." Right then, Leah realized she made a mistake, as Shmuel's mother was just passing by and overheard her comments. When she saw Sarah, Shmuel's mother let out a cry and said, "You're the anonymous donor? I'm going to faint. I can't tell you how ashamed I am. I don't deserve what you did for me." "But what exactly happened between the two of you?" said Leah, who could not hold her curiosity any longer. The mother explained, "A few years ago, I was sitting on a bus when a woman got on and asked the driver if she could pay later, as she had no money with her. But he got angry and yelled at her, 'If you don't have money, why did you get on the bus? I know you. You're wealthy, but you prefer to live off other people's backs. Pay or get out.' I don't know why, but the driver's words convinced me. As I looked at Sarah, I saw a greedy rich lady trying to save a few pennies. Of all the passengers, she turned to me to ask if I could lend her the amount for the ticket. I'm ashamed to admit that I refused, and I said to her that such a wealthy lady should learn not to take advantage of others. The bus driver opened the door, and she got out, red with shame. This is when I realized my mistake, but it was too late to do anything. When my son became sick, I felt like Hashem wanted to teach me a lesson for having humiliated this person without reason. But today I realize how insensitive and cruel I was towards such a wonderful woman who gave her own money to save my son's life." Turning to Sarah, tears welling up in her eyes, "I don't know what got into me that night. I ask for your forgiveness with all my heart, even though I owe you much more than an apology." Sarah softly replied, "Be at peace. I'm not mad at you. I actually believe this incident allowed things to get better. When my husband went bankrupt, we could barely make ends meet. We made it thanks to our faith in Hashem, and we kept praying for our situation to improve. That night on the bus, when I had to get off because I couldn't buy a ticket, I knew I had hit bottom, and I was devastated, especially after the humiliation I felt. I'm thankful I could count on Leah's help, who gave me her shoulder to cry and money to go home. When I told my husband, he hugged me and said, "Don't worry, honey. I learned in the Gemara that when one hits bottom, one can only go up. And this is what we are experiencing. I'm certain that Hashem will soon send redemption. It's only a matter of time." And he was right. That same week, he made a fantastic deal that allowed us to restore our initial financial situation. So in a way, it was thanks to you that we made it. Even though I admit that at the beginning, I struggled to forgive you and was even tempted to get revenge. When I saw you with your son a month ago, I found the strength to give you the benefit of the doubt for what you did. I decided to help you anonymously so that you wouldn't be uncomfortable. But it seems like God decided we are to meet face to face. In any case, I completely forgive you for what happened, and I'm even thankful. This beautiful story shows once more how Hashem leads our steps in every detail. Health and sickness, wealth and poverty are in the hands of Hashem, and the tables can turn any day. But in every circumstances, we only need to trust Him. Shabbat Shalom.